Welcome to HornAfrica Insight, your trusted source for East Africa's top news. Today, we bring you Eritrea's sharp critique of Ethiopia's Red Sea ambitions, Egypt's diplomatic outreach to Uganda at UNJ 80, Somalia's praise for Egypt's new security support, the Palestinian two-state push gaining traction at the UN, and Donald Trump's bold claims on the Ethiopian Grand Renaissance Dam dispute. 5 stories shaping the Horn and beyond. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, and let's dive in. Eritrea's Information Minister Yemane GebreMeskel, in posts on X, fiercely criticized Ethiopia's pursuit of sovereign access to the sea, calling it a toxic agenda driven by the Prosperity Party, PP, which he described as the Potemkin Party. Responding to President Tay Atske Selassie's remarks at a military awards ceremony on September 20th, 2025, Yemane accused the ruling party of manufacturing a regional crisis through disinformation, historical distortion, and reckless saber-rattling. He highlighted 3 core concerns: Ethiopia's rewriting of Eritrean history, disregard for colonial-era boundary agreements, and provocative rhetoric aimed at distracting from internal challenges such as conflict and dependence on IMF and World Bank aid. Yemane warned that Ethiopia's push for Red Sea access, echoing annexation-era claims, risks reigniting conflict in a region already unstable.
ይህ የዘወትር ዝግጁነታችንን አገራችንን በበጎ የማይመለከቱ ሁሉ አንዳች ክፋት፣ አንዳች ሳንክ፣ አንዳች ሴራና ተንኮል እንዳያውጠነጥኑ ኃያል መልእክት ስለሆነ ይህንኑ በዚህ ዕለት ይወቁት።
The dispute stems from Ethiopia's January 2025 MOU with Somaliland for port access, strongly opposed by Eritrea and Somalia. Ethiopia insists its pursuit is vital for its landlocked economy, citing historic access to the sea before Eritrea's 1993 independence. Yemane's post also criticized Ethiopia's hosting of summits on climate change and Afro-Caribbean cooperation as gaslighting to mask domestic woes, urging focus on regional stability. The dispute underscores tensions between Asmara and Addis Ababa, with Eritrea framing Ethiopia's actions as adventurist. Can Ethiopia balance its maritime ambitions with regional peace, or will this escalate Horn tensions? At the sidelines of UNGA 80 in New York, Egypt's Foreign Minister Badr Abdelatty met with Uganda's Foreign Minister JJ Odongo to boost bilateral cooperation and discuss regional issues. Abdelatty reaffirmed Egypt's rejection of unilateral measures in the eastern Nile basin, specifically Ethiopia's continued operation of the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, GERD. He stressed that the Nile is an existential lifeline for Egypt's 150 million citizens, vowing to defend water security through legal frameworks. Abdelatty proposed technical cooperation, capacity-building programs via the Egyptian Agency for Partnership for Development, and a new development support mechanism for southern Nile Basin states, with Uganda playing a central role. The talks also covered finalizing an MOU on medical products, boosting trade via an Egyptian-Ugandan Joint Business Council, and expanding cultural, military, and parliamentary ties. Both ministers supported Somalia's AU mission transition, AU-SOM, and Sudan's unity and stability, while Abdelatty invited Uganda to the upcoming Aswan Forum. Uganda, an upstream Nile state, has often aligned with Ethiopia's call for equitable water use, complicating Egypt's position. Can Cairo and Kampala truly align their interests while strengthening cooperation? Somalia's foreign ministry, in a September 21st statement, welcomed Egypt's pledge to back its security and stabilization efforts, reported Garo online. Somalia described the support as a reflection of historic ties, critical as the country intensifies its fight against al-Shabaab. Egypt's commitment includes military equipment, training, and plans to deploy troops under the African Union Support and Stabilization Mission in Somalia, AUSSOM, replacing ATMIS. This aligns with Egypt's January 2025 deal with President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud, expanding military and economic ties. The move also fits Cairo's wider regional strategy, countering Ethiopia's growing influence via its Somaliland port deal. Yet Somalia's dependence on Ethiopian troops complicates this shift. Egypt insists its partnership aims at strengthening Somali sovereignty, supporting Sudan's anti-terrorism fight, and enhancing regional stability. Can Somalia translate Egypt's promises into lasting peace while navigating these rivalries? The 81st UN General Assembly in New York on September 21st to 22nd, 2025, intensified focus on the Palestinian two-state solution per UN reports. The high-level international conference for the peaceful settlement of the question of Palestine, held on September 22nd, followed the UNGA's endorsement of the New York Declaration, backed by over 150 nations, rejecting occupation and supporting a viable Palestinian state alongside Israel.
Those who stand in the way are obligated to answer a fundamental question. What is the alternative? A one-state scenario where Palestinians are denied basic rights, expelled from their homes and their land, forced to live under perpetual occupation, discrimination, and subjugation? How is this possible in the 21st century? How is it acceptable? This is neither peace nor justice. It will only increase the growing isolation of Israel on the global stage. And let's be clear, statehood for the Palestinians is a right, not a reward.
Nothing any longer justifies the continuation of the war in Gaza. Nothing, on the contrary, everything demands that it be brought to a definitive end now, if not sooner. I declare that France today recognizes the state of Palestine.
Palestinian President Abbas demanded immediate UN action, labeling Israel's actions a genocidal war. Leaders from Turkey, Brazil, and Jordan echoed calls for a two-state framework, while Italy and Montenegro condemned violence and backed UN resolutions. The conference proposed a UN-monitored ceasefire and negotiation timeline, building on a July 2025 blueprint for disarming militants and reforming Palestinian governance. Israel's absence and Netanyahu's dismissal of the event as one-sided highlighted challenges. With Gaza's death toll rising and Lebanon tensions escalating, the push aims to de-escalate. The Horn, with Egypt and Somalia's active UNGA roles, watches closely. Can UNGA 80's momentum deliver a viable two-state solution, or will it falter? U.S. President Donald Trump, in a September 21st speech at the American Cornerstone Institute in Virginia, claimed credit for averting a potential war between Egypt and Ethiopia over the Ethiopian Grand Renaissance Dam. He told supporters that during his administration, he kept the dispute from exploding into open conflict, highlighting the Nile's importance to Egypt's water security.
We have Kosovo, Serbia, Israel, Iran, Egypt, Ethiopia. That's a beauty. They built a little dam in Ethiopia that's like the largest dam in the world. And it affects the water going to the Nile. Would you say that's a problem? I would say that's a big problem.
Egypt, however, continues to push its case at the UN, most recently in a September 9th letter accusing Ethiopia of breaching international law and the 2015 Declaration of Principles. Ethiopia insists the Renaissance Dam is an equitable project essential to its development. Trump's claim comes as both nations remain locked in stalemate despite years of failed tripartite negotiations. Whether U.S. diplomacy can still play a role in resolving the Ethiopian Renaissance Dam standoff remains to be seen. From Eritrea's attack on Ethiopia's Red Sea policy to Egypt's Nile diplomacy with Uganda, Somalia's embrace of Egyptian support, the Palestinian UNGA momentum, and Trump's Ethiopian Renaissance Dam claims, the Horn of Africa stands at a crossroads. Comment your thoughts, subscribe for more, and follow us on X. HornAfrica Insight, where East Africa's story shines. #HornAfrica Insight.